I'm Rebecca Larson. I don't know if you know me yet. I am the owner of tutorsdynasty.com, the Tutors Dynasty Facebook, Twitter, Instagram pages, and I'm also the host of the Tutors Dynasty podcast. I decided recently to try and do something a little bit different and maybe kind of do a tutor course. Not a real course, but a way to help those of you who may have some questions. Maybe you don't know a whole lot about the Tudor dynasty. Maybe you have some questions for me. Maybe there are things about the dynasty that you don't know about. Anyway, any questions are greatly appreciated. What I want to do with these live videos is just to help teach, give suggestions, give advice, anything that I can do to bring this community even closer together, because you're all awesome. And I love the interaction that we get on social media. And I kind of just want to keep it going with everybody. So those who don't know me, I started tutorsdynasty.com in June of 2015. It was kind of on a whim. I had already created the Tutors Dynasty Twitter page at that time, Twitter handle. You can see I'm not a big tweeter. And I started that just to interact with people in the community, find like-minded people. At that time, my husband, my wonderful husband, pushed me to start writing. But to be honest with you, I never thought of myself as a writer. And so I started out doing a Paper.li account, which if you're not familiar with Paper.li, which is paper.li, when I started doing that, it was just to share all the cool articles that I was finding online. So it just kind of looked like a newspaper with a bunch of people's articles from different blogs and websites and such. And after a while, I started realizing that I actually had an opinion on some of these things, and I wanted to share my opinion with everybody. And I was scared. I was definitely terrified to put everything out there because, as you all know, people can be extremely cruel online. And it was a little bit terrifying to start writing because it's a craft that I really hadn't worked on for many, many years at that point. And thankfully, with the encouragement of my wonderful husband, I started writing, and he just kept telling me you know what, Becky, the more you do it, the better you're going to get. And he was right. You know, I still don't consider myself high caliber when it comes to writing, but I have definitely gotten better over the years. So it's proof to all of you who are listening to this that you can do anything you put your mind to. And it's amazing how welcoming the community has been. I've made so many great friends over these last almost 4 years. And I'm just excited to have found so many people who are as passionate, if not more passionate, about the tutors. And so with this, I just want to help any way that I can. So for all of you, I see there's 4 of you on right now. Do any of you have any questions, or would you like to introduce yourself? I would love to hear from you. That would be great. So it's not just me sitting here talking, because it's kind of awkward. I'm just talking into a camera with a microphone on. I can talk about my favorite tutor until some of you start chatting with me here. You may know that my favorite tutor is Thomas Seymour, probably one of the least liked tutors, and he's not a tutor by name, but part of the Tudor dynasty. Oh, hi, Jennifer. Yes, the book. Okay, so that's where I was going with this. So I've been working on a book about Thomas since October of 2016. And I really just started researching then, trying to figure out what I wanted to do at that time. I really wanted to start doing nonfiction, but my research skills maybe weren't up to par at the time. So I didn't really know what I was doing. Eventually, I decided to do it as fiction or historical fiction because I felt like that was going to be a little bit easier for me. So really, probably last year about this time is when I really started jumping in and writing my fiction piece about Thomas. And the reason why I wanted to write my fiction piece about Thomas was because I felt some sympathy for him, and I felt like he had a story that has never been told. And I wanted to fill in the gaps. There's so much about his life that we just don't know from the evidence that's left behind, that I thought it would be a lot of fun to try and fill in the gaps myself and create a story for all of you. So Over Christmas was when I finished finally my first draft of the book. I did the NaNoWriMo in November, which is awesome. If you're not familiar with that, it's a writing community who for the month of November just really push to help you finish your first draft. I'd already started, so it made it a little bit easier, but it's really writing a book in a month. And it helped to motivate me and to get me on the right path. And then I had been given some advice to take a few weeks off from the book before going back and edit. And it was good that I took the time off, but I have discovered that doing the editing, the second draft of the book, is extremely difficult to do. The whole job about editing is making sure that the story flows, taking out things that don't work. And that's been the hardest for me, is to take things out that I thought needed to be in the story, but the story needs to move forward properly. And I want to make sure that everybody enjoys it as much as I've enjoyed writing it. There's so much of this story that I can't wait to share with all of you. And I think I've made his life story seem a little bit more interesting and make him more human. That's the big thing. Like, he was a human like the rest of us, and he wasn't all bad. And I think we all go through times in our life where we make bad choices or we hang out with bad people, and we deserve another chance. And I guess this book is kind of another chance for Thomas. And I'm also working on a nonfiction book for him as well at this time. And that one, I'm really just going to put together all the evidence that I've gathered over the years, the contemporary evidence, letters that he wrote. I can show you, I have obtained, some of these are not even legible, but I have obtained a bunch of old letters. Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, this is. So this right here, let's see if you can get a nice little peek at this here. This is Thomas Seymour's handwriting, okay? I'm working on deciphering it. Paleography is a course in itself, and thankfully I had an historian friend who guided me in the direction on what the best way to be able to read this is. And even she said that his handwriting is atrocious. So it has made my job very difficult to try and translate what he's saying. But to me, these are his real words. And so I want to be able to understand the words that came from him. That's the big thing. So all of that's going to be incorporated into my nonfiction book. So Jennifer, thank you so much for asking that question, because as you probably know, I absolutely love talking about Thomas Seymour all the time. Does anybody else have any other questions right now? Or do you want to jump on and introduce yourself? I'll say hi to you. Like I said, this is my first time doing a live video, and I want to do more of these in the future, and I'll plan ahead a little bit more in the future and let you guys know when I'm going to do this so that it'll be more convenient for more people to be able to jump on. Because I know if you're in the US, it's the middle of the day right now. I just so happen to have the day off today. So this was convenient for me because I'm the only one around and there's no noise other than the traffic that you might be able to hear in the background since I have my patio door open, or my cat. You might be able to hear my cat. If he comes over here, I'll show everybody Gizmo. He's like another child to us. So if nobody else has any other questions, or if you don't want to say hi, I think we'll just kind of end it here today. Now that I know that the audio is working properly, I will try and schedule something in the future where we can all come in together. I don't know if there's a day of the week that works best, or if there's a time of day that's going to work best. I generally work 8 to 5, and I'm in the US. And right now where I'm at, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. So for me, anytime after probably after 6 p.m. Central Time is going to work the best. But weekends, I'm a little bit more flexible on weekends. I can do mornings and things like that. That's usually when I record my podcast, is like Saturday mornings. And then I try to get it edited as fast as possible and get it out to you guys. So doesn't look like anybody else wants to say hi or jump in and ask any questions or anything. So with that, there's Jennifer. Well, I'm glad. That it makes me happy. I hope everybody looks forward to these in the future. I just want to do something different. I don't know anybody else who's doing a live video like this with the sake of wanting to teach everybody. My big thing is I want to teach what I've learned over the years, and I am looking forward to sharing books with you, letting you know what books I've really enjoyed reading. If you have questions, it'll be easy for me to run and grab a book out of my bookshelf, and we can go through things together. So thank you so much for those of you that have jumped on with me today, letting me test this out and make sure it works okay. And stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and stay tuned for the future. And hopefully we can have a Tudor 101 course very shortly. So thank you so much.